Alright students, this is CA Ramesh Soni and today I am here to talk to you guys about a small approach difference which is there between the solving pattern which is normally being adopted in customs and our ICAI approach. Now I will tell you why this difference is happening. Everyone over here, when you do the chapter of valuation, while solving the question of valuation, many students have been texting me, sir, we are trying to do a question, our answer comes different and ICAI ka answer comes different. Sir, ICAI ka freight amount which is there, they don't go ahead and add freight and handling at the port of importation. We go ahead and add. So there is some difference which is happening. Can you please help? Right. So today I am here to quickly tell you guys about what is the difference, why is the difference happening, so that when you solve questions in the exam, you are a bit clear about it. For that, I would like to quickly tell you, whenever you go ahead and do valuation, you tell me how do you do the valuation of goods? We go ahead and find out the CIF value at the place of importation. Basically, we go ahead and add up to the place, not at the place of importation, up to the place of importation, whatever expenses are being incurred, we go ahead and add. So, sir, how it happens? We take the ex factory price, we add all the local taxes, whatever is there, then the goods reach the port. At the port, loading, handling charges which are there, loading, unloading, handling charges which are there. Sir, we go ahead and add that and we arrive at the FOB. On the FOB, sir, on the FOB price, section number 10(2)(a) says you have to go ahead and calculate cost of transportation. Sir, in case of normal scenario, if cost of transportation is given, we will take that, otherwise we will take 20%. And sir, in case of freight, air freight, we go ahead and take 20% or the actual amount, whichever is lower. I hope you guys understand. So the problem happens not when we are taking the actual. The problem will happen whenever you are calculating 20%. I'll explain you later how. So this cost of transportation is actually on the FOB value, and insurance also, if actual is given, actual, otherwise 1.125% of the FOB. Basically, this has to be calculated on the FOB. And once you add 10(2)(a) and 10(2)(b), you go ahead and arrive at the CIF value. CIF is basically FOB plus 10(2)(a) plus 10(2)(b). Right, everyone? And then we arrive at the CIF value. I hope everyone is clear till here. So basically, we take ex factory price. From there, we take local taxes, local expenses which are there, loading, unloading, handling charges at the port of export, from where it is being exported, we take that. Then we take 10(2)(a), 10(2)(b), cost of transportation, cost of insurance, and we arrive at the CIF. In CIF, only the expenses up to the port has to be taken. I hope everyone is clear. Now, let's go ahead and do one thing. We will solve one question. For an example, this is November 19 ka suggested answer. One question which I picked up, November 19 exam question basically. Everyone over here. If you see, Mr. X has imported certain goods from related person, when related person is there, you will have to go ahead and apply valuation rule. Unless you prove that relationship has not impacted the price, or the price is in close approximation with the rule number 4, 5, 7 and 8. Now, the transaction value has been rejected. Now that the transaction value has been rejected, you will go for valuation rule. Rule number 4, 5 are found inapplicable. Rule 4, 5 is inapplicable. Then rule number 6 says 3, 4, 5 inapplicable. Then we'll apply 7 and then 8. As no similar identical goods are there. Mr. X furnishes cost related to import and request custom authorities his furnished cost ka detail. So basically he's telling to apply additive method. Basically he is telling you computed value, you go ahead and take as the value of assessable value rather than applying deductive value. So Mr. X is telling please go ahead and apply rule number 8 and don't apply rule number 7. I hope you guys remember in rule number 6 we had learned that if the importer requests the custom officer can apply rule number 8 before rule number 7. So assuming that the person would have gone ahead and requested the officer will go ahead and apply rule number 8 and then rule number 7 if required. So when he is furnishing cost detail, means he is trying to say that please go ahead and apply rule number 8. To determine the value as per rule number 8, the relevant cost details are given. Okay sir, these details are given. The custom authority is of an opinion that as per rule number 7, it should be 4 lakh. Sir, when I request, then Baba, they can go ahead and apply rule number 8 and then apply rule number 7. Proviso to rule number 6, it says that. Can the request of Mr. X be legally accepted? Yes, sir. As per rule number 6, if the importer goes ahead and requests, the custom officer may grant him rule number 8 to be applied before rule number 7. Compute the S-level value. Sir, when I compute the S-level value, it comes like this. Everyone listen. Sir, cost of material is 2000 rupees. Okay, I will take 2000. Sir, fabrication 1000. I will take 1000. I am taking the cost from there till here. From there up to the port of importation, I will have to take up to, you remember, up to the port of importation has to be taken. Sir, other expenses 400. Sir, other indirect cost 250. Then sir, then there is freight which is there from the Q's factory to the US port. If you remember, Baba, this is the US ka port. From his factory till here, whatever freight is there, will you go ahead and add or not? Yes, sir, we'll add so that we can arrive at FOB. Okay, sir, let's add. So, we'll add 250. Then, sir, loading charges at US port. Sir, if you see over here, if any loading and unloading charges are paid at the US port, in the FOB, it is included because FOB means all the expenses from the factory till the port. I hope everyone is clear. So, we will go ahead and add this 100 also. And, sir, if you see the total cost till here 2000, 3000 and 4000. 4000 is the total cost. Baba, this is the cost, this is not the FOB, this is the total cost. Till here the total cost is 4000. And sir, normal profit. Sir, as per additive method, when you are calculating computed value method, you have to add the normal profit. I hope you guys remember rule number 8 I had taught you, where I had told you that sir, from the cost of material expenses in producing all the general expenses which are there, we have to add profit also. Now, and then 10.1 and 10.2 ka adjustment. Everyone here. Now, net profit is 20% of FOB. Now, if you add profit, you will arrive at FOB. I hope everyone is clear. If you add profit, sir, if you go ahead and add profit, you will arrive at FOB. Now, it is telling 20% of FOB is the profit. Now, profit is 20%, correct? FOB is supposingly 100, then Baba cost is 80. So, if 4000 is 80%, how much is 20%? If you see 4000 is 80%, then 20% is how much, Baba? Basic mathematics. You will go ahead and 4000 divided by 80 into 20, you will get 1000. So, sir, my FOB is coming 5000. Now, when your FOB has come to 5000, when your FOB has come to 5000, you will add 10.2a and 10.2b, which says, sir, air freight, since it is air freight, maximum is 20%. Actually, is 1500 and Baba 20% of FOB, 5000 into 20% means 1000. And sir, insurance from US port, insurance is $50, actually is given, we will take actual. And sir, it comes down to 6050 as the S-level value. Sir, S-level value in dollars is 6050. Then sir, we will go ahead and multiply exchange rate and we will find out Indian S-level value. I hope everyone is clear. We got 6050. We got 6050. But when you go ahead and do the same sum, when you see in the ICAI material, you will see over here that it is 5700. Sir, it is 5700, but you told, sir, it is 6050. I told 6050, ICAI material says 5700. The difference is 350. The difference is $350. I will tell you what is the difference. The difference over here is, sir, these two. 250, sir, basically the difference is because of freight and loading charges, which the ICAI has not gone ahead and considered over here. Sir, if you see, if the ICAI would have added 350 over here, then their answer also would have come at 5700. Now, what to do, sir? Why the ICAI is doing this? Baba, I'll tell you what is happening over here. It is a mere confusion over here, but I'll clarify everyone over here. See, when you go to, Baba, there was a notification which had come, there was a very famous Wipro case which had happened, and after that, there was an amendment in the Customs Act which had happened. Baba, I'll explain you what was the amendment. Everyone listen. Earlier, section number 10 to A used to say what? It used to say the loading, unloading and handling charges associated with the delivery. Basically, it used to say, basically, if you see everyone here, the loading, unloading, handling charges associated with delivery at the place of importation. The word used was at the place of importation, means everyone over here. So the earlier 10 to A used to say the cost of transportation. Okay, sir, cost of transportation. Which transportation, sir? Baba, everyone listen. This transportation, cost of transportation plus loading, unloading, handling associated with the delivery of the imported goods. The word used was at. Earlier the word used was at. It means what used to happen is when goods will be imported, first of all cost of transportation, then Baba, this importation, place of importation, at the place of importation means at the place of importation, whatever loading, unloading, handling charges used to be there, that also had to be included. What used to happen, Baba, this cost of transportation, this you leave it. In the FOB, 10 to A used to say, sir, please include cost of transportation and loading, unloading, handling charges at the place of importation. Basically, in the Indian port, whatever loading, unloading charges are there, that had to be included. And for that, we used to go ahead and add 1%. 1% as landing charges. Baba, 1% we used to go ahead and add for loading, unloading at the place of importation. However, the very famous Wipro case happened where the Supreme Court went ahead and told that, Baba, if landing 1% landing charges which are there, loading, unloading charges, actual basis pay it has to be added. You can't go ahead and notionally add 1%. What used to happen in India, 1% used to be added. See over here, one minute. Over here, when you see the Honorable Supreme Court in case of Wipro versus Assistant Collector of Custom ruled what? Landing charges to be added to value of goods should be actual charges incurred. Means in India, supposedly Wipro imported some software, on that 1% landing charges used to be added and not notional. They are telling if actually any landing charges are there, that has to be added, and notionally, not notional of 1% as has been provided in the rules. Earlier what used to happen is on the total computation we used to go ahead and add 1% as the landing charges for the loading, unloading, handling charges at the port of importation. However, Wipro case happened where Wipro case they went ahead and told that this notional basis can't be adopted, you have to add on actual basis. And now because of this thing, they went ahead and deleted this word. They went ahead and deleted the word at the port of importation, and they told, sir, whatever the loading, unloading, cost of transportation, loading, unloading, handling up to the port. The new word which was used was over here. They went ahead and issued this notification which was 91/2017, and Baba, they went ahead and told cost of transportation, loading, unloading charges associated with the delivery of the imported goods to the place of importation, and hence any loading, unloading charges at the place of importation is no more includable. I hope everyone is clear. Only up to, which I am teaching you always. But what happened is, because there was one word which was used, so they went ahead and in the clarification they went ahead and told the phrase loading, unloading, handling charges appeared in amendment, appeared in the amended Rule 10 is to be understood in context of Article 2 of WTO agreement, which read as cost of transportation of loading of imported goods to the place of importation, means up to the place of importation, whatever is the loading, unloading charges, that has to be added. Baba, at the port of importation, nothing has to be added. Thus, only charges incurred for delivery of the goods to the place of importation shall now be included. Baba, till here there was no confusion. One word which created the confusion. See, such as the loading unloading charges incurred at the load port, means the exporting port may whatever loading charges are there, that has to be included. So they just meant that it has to be included. It did not mean that Baba that 20% when you are calculating, that at the port of importation the charges also are included. I hope everyone is clear. So Baba, the problem what happened over here, that it has been assumed that when you calculate this 20%, no, when you calculate this 20%, for an example, in this over here, when you calculate this 20%, this is cost of transportation, loading, unloading at the load port. Baba, there whatever loading charges, unloading charges, this 350 was also, this 50 was there, this 350 has been included in 20%, and hence when you see the ICAI approach, they don't include this 250 and $300 over here, because they say that when you calculate 20%, this 20% already includes any loading, unloading charges which were incurred at the load port, basically at the port of exportation. However, the meaning over here was any loading, unloading charges at the port of importation need not be included. So this 20% is just cost of transportation. This 20% does not mean that Baba loading, unloading at the export port is also included in this 20%. No. However, there is a difference in the ICAI approach. ICAI's understanding over here, ICAI ka understanding, Baba, with due respect, ICAI ka understanding over here is that this 250 and 100 is included in this 20%, and hence they have not gone ahead and included it again. I hope everyone is clear. Baba, both the approaches which are there means, sir, if I want to do by your approach, S-level value will come 6050. However, sir, if I do by ICAI approach, the S-level value will come 5700. What is to be done? See, Baba, for exam purpose, any approach can be adopted by you. However, you have to go ahead and give one clarificatory note at the end saying that we have understood in this way and we have done it in this way. Because now the problem over here is, when you see most of the ICAI answer is now being solved this way. Sir, what is to be done? Baba, you can follow any approach, but at the end also give the note. Don't forget to give the note. That is very important. I hope everyone is clear. The problem was the word which was used was cost of transportation, loading, unloading, handling charges at the port of importation had to be included. For that 1% was includable earlier, but now that 1% is no more includable. So Baba, cost of loading, unloading, cost of transportation, loading, unloading up to the port has to be included. But Baba, that 20% which is there, that 20% just means cost of transportation, loading, unloading. For an example, now I'll tell you, supposingly there is a mother vessel which has come over here, and from the mother vessel some unloading is happening in one small barge. Baba, some unloading is happening from here, loading, unloading, might be there is some unloading, loading charges which are there. Baba, these charges which are there, that are included in 20%. I hope everyone is clear. But in the FOB, you must include any loading, unloading charges which are there. On the FOB, you should calculate 20% of 20% as the cost of transportation. I hope I was able to clarify you guys the difference in approach. The difference in approach is nothing, Baba. We are going ahead and including this cost of freight, loading, unloading at the port of importation in our FOB, and on the FOB we are calculating 20% cost of transportation. However, ICAI approach is, they are telling that when we calculate 20% of FOB, we have already included this freight, loading charges, etc. in this. So we will not go ahead and again include this 250 and $100, and hence you will see that 350 is not included over here, because their assumption is that when you calculate 20%, you have already included the cost of transportation and cost of loading, unloading at the load port. However, this seems to be a little confusing thing. We will go ahead and do whichever approach you guys want, you guys can go ahead and do. However, please give a note stating that as if we go ahead and consider in the 20% to include all the freight and loading charges, Baba, this will be the answer. you guys have to go ahead and give a clarificatory note. Don't miss that. I hope everyone is clear and I was able to clarify that Baba why there is a confusion. All the best everyone. Take care. Bye.